Welcome to my kitchen. This is the first episode of Chef Jeff, brought to you from Berkeley Springs, the art and cultural center of the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. Today I'm going to show you how to make a regional dish, which is cheesy crab dip baked in a loaf of bread. Before we get started, I realized that I need to have a bottle for my vinaigrette later on in the show, and the only way I can do that is to empty out a little bottle of champagne that I have sitting on the side. So I'm going to go over and make myself a little mimosa. Fresh orange juice, and I've got a nice juicer that gives you the fresh squeezed orange juice. And in my opinion, if you're drinking mimosas without fresh squeezed orange juice, you're just looking for an excuse to do day drinking. So fresh squeezed is really the way to go. One orange should do the trick. Add our champagne. And this is a 6-ounce bottle, in case you were wondering if you want to do this recipe yourself. We'll let that settle down for a second. And there's a fresh mimosa for me. Rinse this out real quick. And that will be ready for our vinaigrette, which will come later on in the show. Okay, so now we're going to get started with the cheesy crab dip. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and ½ teaspoon of smoked paprika. A lot of the recipes go with all Old Bay seasoning, but I think it can be overpowering when you put Old Bay seasoning into a recipe. Sometimes that's all you taste. And then we go with half of our parsley that we've chopped up, which is 1 tablespoon, and mix that in. So now we get these all mixed in together thoroughly, and you really want to get these flavors all mixed in, because once you add the cheese, it gets really hard to stir. So you want to get all this stuff mixed up well before the cheese goes in. That looks pretty good. Spread it out kind of in a bowl shape and add the cheese a little bit at a time so that it doesn't get too chunky. Stir this in. And add a little bit more. This is 8 ounces of grated cheddar and 4 ounces of mozzarella. Okay, let's put the last bit in. And the good thing about this recipe is that you can make this part the night before if you like, and cover it and put it in the refrigerator. And I would say, as far as hollowing out the bread, you might want to wait till the day that you serve it to do that, so it doesn't get too dried out. Okay. So, that's good already. These are 2 8-ounce containers of crab meat. And this is the part where all the directions say to go gently, to not break up the crab meat into too small pieces. That way when you're eating it, you can actually tell if there's crab meat in it. So I'll fold that in gently until it's well mixed. And and then it goes into the bread bowl. So this is a loaf of artisan bread that I got at the local market, and I cut the top off and made toast out of that so we can spread the crab dip on it later. And then I pulled out pieces to hollow it out, that's good. And I used some of the pieces that I pulled out to make some croutons for the salad that we're going to be having later. So we take this and just fill up the bowl. There we go. You don't want to overfill it, and these loaves are a little bit smaller than what I've used before, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have quite a bit extra crab dip to put into maybe another container that I can either freeze or just have later. You fill it up to the top, but you really don't want it to melt and overflow. So now I take my leftover parsley, sprinkle it on the top. There, so it gives it some nice color, and a little bit of reserved grated cheddar cheese to put on top. And that will melt, and when that gets melted, that's when you pretty much know that it's done. So I'm going to put this in the oven now, and it goes in at 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Definitely check it at 20 minutes. And it's also good to put it on a pan, a baking pan, in case some of it drips. And we'll come get to that later. And as you can see, there's quite a bit left over. I could almost have done a second bread bowl. Now we're going to do the salad. Yesterday I went to the farmer's market and I wanted to get some spinach because I wanted to do a spinach and strawberry summer salad. And I saw this beautiful lettuce and watercress, and I changed gears and decided, okay, that's what I'm going to use. So I've got watercress and Bibb lettuce that's freshly grown and purchased from my farmer's market. I've got some red onion, I'll sprinkle that on top, and fresh strawberries. Now, if you're going to be taking this to a party and it's going to be half an hour, 45 minutes until it's served, don't put the strawberries on yet, and don't put the dressing on either. So, since we're going to eat this pretty soon, I'm just going to put these things on now, and I'm going to leave these little tomatoes whole, and they add a nice color to the salad. Got your purple, red, and orange. A lot of people put feta cheese in this particular salad, but since we're already having this cheesy crab dip, I figured we were going to have enough cheese on our plates. So there's the salad, and now I will make the croutons. So I've got this little olive oil sprayer. Spray the croutons, mix them up a little bit. Sprinkle on some Italian seasoning. Spray a little bit more. Okay, and that goes in the toaster oven. And just put that on toast. Okay. Now we're going to make the vinaigrette that goes with the salad. Starts off with 2 teaspoons of strawberry jam, and you want to use jam and not preserves because you don't want the big chunks in there. It needs to mix up. There we go. And then you go with 1 tablespoon balsamic vinegar. And 3 tablespoons olive oil, which I can get right over here. Brand new one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've got a little whisk here to stir it up a little bit. And as you can see, even though that is jam, it's still a little bit hard to get it all mixed up. So you really got to smush it around a little bit. Okay. And once you get that, then it's time to use the nice little bottle that we got. And I've got a little screw-on funnel that I can use. Make sure it all gets in there. Okay. And then we've got a nice little top to serve it with. So you can take that to the party with you and serve that. Don't put that on until you're really ready to eat. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what our finished product looks like. Ooh, there we go. That looks good. And what we'll do is put this on a serving plate right in the middle, and we'll put these are the pieces of the bread that I cut off the top. Put those around the edge. Okay, that looks very nice. And take a nice little serving knife. We'll use this. And spread some on and give it a try. Ooh, that looks a little hot. So I might wait a second on this. Anyhow, that's the cheesy crab dip, summer salad, and the vinaigrette. All ready to go. I'm going to take a bite, see how it is. Mmm. That's good. I think I'll go with mimosa. Mmm. Thank you very much for joining me on my first episode of Chef Jeff. Have a good day.